Last year, in the UK, 840 million people searched for voucher codes. And it's really easy to understand why, because we've all been there before, at the checkout page, about to enter our card details.
The number one thing that people regret on their deathbed is, I should have treated it more like a game. I should have figured out what was important in the game and done what was actually important. No matter what you're going through, make a poster and put this up on your wall. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a game.
Okay, so I'm just gonna walk you through the basic vision.
And so what do? If you're anything like us, you end up leaving the site you're on, going on some wild goose chase throughout the internet, trying to find a voucher code that may or may not even exist.
So we created a browser extension that automatically sources all the best available and valid voucher codes and presents them to you at the checkout page of the website you're on.
And here's how it works.
I'm convinced that at some point in 2020, the world went to sleep. People went home and never came out. We found comfort within the four walls of our homes, and for the first time ever, distractions became the way of life. Not because they were so pleasurable, but because reality itself became undesirable. Young people lost their youth, they were educated through a pandemic, they're graduating in a housing crisis, and they're trying to get employed in an AI revolution. Work from home became stay at home. Socializing for the most part became tiring, and the feeds of our phones that know best how to soothe our pain became our favorite place to be.
Are you a good guy or a bad guy?
Let me teach you this. This is how you open an oyster.
I ate these in France when I was a kid. I said they taste like the future.
I was reminded every measure.
Deborah Meaden is keen to find out how this money-saving venture could line the pockets of an investor.
So how do you make your money?
I'm a loser, right? Well, that's what society would tell you. And if society wants to say that I'm a loser, then so be it. I'm a loser who's not going to work a day past my 40s. Let me explain. I work 2 jobs and I invest over 90% of my income into quote-unquote boring S&P ETFs. Am I going to get rich tomorrow? No, absolutely not. But I'll tell you what I am certainly not going to do. And as I said, that's work a day past my 40s. You see, time is everything when it comes to investing. I'm 26 and I have over $250,000 invested into S&P ETFs. And if I never invest another dollar on top of this, I will retire in my 50s a multi-millionaire. Now, let me clear this up. I'm not going to live like this forever. Yes, I live very frugally, and yes, I invest over 90% of my income, but I also travel internationally multiple times a year. You have to find a healthy balance that works for you, where you are enjoying life today and investing for your future. Now, for me personally, I'm willing to sacrifice some of my younger years for future freedom.
75% of shopping baskets are abandoned. I thought, wow, that's real, is it? That 75% never go to checkout. Yeah.
So 75% is an industry average, but some much higher. Travel, for instance, is 85% abandonment. So it's clear that this is a problem that retailers are paying for.
Ben and Johnny have all the answers so far, which has impressed multimillionaire bargain hunter Jenny Campbell.
I think the job that gets you the most money now is if you have talents in social media for customer acquisition. I used to pay those guys 48 grand a year, and now they're 250,000, because you can measure their work based on customer acquisition every week. So most of them become contractors. You know, they make $500,000 a year because they know how to take content, turn it into a 59-second ad on social, and acquire 200 customers. That's a very specific...
Tell me about the size of those competitors.
Yeah, so there's really 2, maybe 3 people doing it, 2 that we take seriously, 1 that's doing very well. They have 4.5 million users.
Remember, everybody say you have to be an engineer, an engineer, an engineer. Now you want to be an artist again. Write stories, acquire customers, know how the social media platforms work, know how to post on TikTok versus LinkedIn versus Twitter versus Instagram. Those people in their early 20s are so valuable now. So if you know how to use your phone, somebody wants to hire you.
It is categorically the worst time in modern history for young people to be growing up. They were educated through a pandemic, they're graduating in a housing crisis, and they're trying to get employed during an AI revolution. The younger ones have the least time ever with their parents. Record high divorce rates and the cost of living through the roof means most parents are split up, and even if by some miracle they're still together, jobs each. So, with little to no influence from their parents and hardly any time to be parented, the parenting happens at school and online. 99% of online influence is retarded. Porn everywhere, platforms shoving it in your face whether you want it or not, Bonnie, Blue and whatever else. For the first time ever, children are being actively politically indoctrinated, if not in the curriculum itself, then on their feeds by politicians actively marketing their campaigns to win over young people.
The average millennial is 36 years old. They can't afford to buy the house. So therefore, their future self is poorer. If they think of how much of the stock market they can buy less with their money. They have less savings. They've got debts from university.
We have hundreds of thousands of dollars. We could go out tonight and spend $1 million. We would never have as much fun as we used to have spending $50 in Luton in 2004. That's because Luton in 2004 is gone, Andrew. A world that no longer exists. And that's the world we want. That's the world we're looking for. We're making all this money. We're buying yachts, flying on jets, we're traveling the world in supercars. We're exploring the most unknown parts of the planet. We're here in a medieval village that no one else who's watching this has ever been to in Romania, looking for Luton in 2004.
Okay, wow.
But it is gone.
Feels like a concert in the car.
Hi, I'm Araminta Reed. Welcome to the all-new electric C-Class by Izzy. What are you doing?
I'm doing very important button testing.
But you're literally waving your hands in front of my face.
Yeah, okay, I'm done now.
I only hire for any position at my firm. You have to have worked in food service. You have to have worked as a server.
You truly mean that?
Every single
like
person,
if a rock star candidate came in,
every single person who has ever worked for me in the 25-year history of the firm has worked as a server or bartender.
Wow.
They've had to work as, because I genuinely believe everything I needed to know about law and politics I learned from working as a waiter, period. And full stop. At Pizza Hut, Bennigan's, Steak and Ale, the Coven Cafe, I worked at a number of restaurants. You learn everything you need to know about being successful in the workplace if you work as a server. Because you have to, it's Game of Thrones. It's politics. Like you have the hostess who you need them to seat you good tables. You have the manager who decides what section you get. You have the cooks who decide how quickly your food comes out and if you need a side of ranch dressing, how quickly you're going to get it. But you can't be too chummy with them or else the other servers think you're on the back of the house side, not the front of the house. But if you act a little indignant towards those guys, they start f***ing with your food and you're not going to get your tables run as quickly and you're not going to, food's going to hit the pass and it's not going to get taken by other servers. So you have to find these like clever...
Pulses are racing in the den, as in a bid to woo the entrepreneurs, Deborah Meaden asks for a lower equity stake than her rival Dragon.
Sporty rear end, and those star taillights just finish the look off perfectly.
By the way, nice shoes, man.
Thanks, but where are you?
I can see everything from in here. It's very useful.